Thank you all for joining us today for our webinar about high accuracy GPS utility mapping. My name is Isabel Kunz. I'm a solution sales representative for Juniper Systems. For today's webinar, I will also be joined by my co-panelist, Chandler Sperry. Before we dive in, I wanted to quickly remind everyone that all audience members are in listen-only mode, which means your microphone is muted. If you have any questions or comments throughout the presentation, please use the questions feature in the webinar menu. We'll try to answer questions as they come along, but anything we're not able to cover, we can personally follow up with you after the webinar. So first, I just wanted to give you all a brief overview of what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to try and keep this webinar fairly short because I know you are all probably quite busy. So hopefully things will be wrapped up within about a half hour. So to begin, Chandler is going to start us out with an introduction to our company, Juniper Systems. We will then review some common utilities mapping processes and challenges that you may all be familiar with. Next, we will cover the components which make up our utility mapping solutions, including both hardware and software. Finally, I will be demonstrating how the solution actually works using the Uinta data collection software. Now with that, I will hand things over to Chandler to get us started with our company introduction.
Thank you, Isabel. So to start out, our headquarters and factory are based in Logan, Utah. We're in a college town on the northeast side of Utah, right next to the Idaho border, close to Yellowstone and the Tetons. We do have a parent company, Campbell Scientific, here in the valley, just across a cow pasture from us. They are a world leader in manufacturing stationary data loggers used for things like weather stations. So most people already know this, but all of our equipment is designed and built in the United States. This is important to us so we can control quality and build ultra rugged equipment that will perform well in harsh conditions. So here's a picture of our updated manufacturing building. As mentioned previously, we designed our factory with an emphasis on efficiency and quality. We strive to maintain the lowest failure rate in the industry, backed by a great warranty. Quality at the end of the day is our top priority. So we are a relatively small company with about 150 employees, but we have a global presence with dealers and partners all over the world. We also have offices in the UK, Kansas City, and Austria. Being a smaller company with a broad reach throughout the world, you're always going to be able to talk to a live person. If you have a question or issue, you'll be able to get in contact with us. So that's a little bit about us. Let's jump into utilities data collection along with the challenges that may arise on the job. So here are a few common challenges that our customers tell us they have when locating and managing their utility assets. First example, people come out and spray and leave these flags to mark their assets, but it's not long before those things start to disappear. Sometimes, another example, customers are dependent on professional surveyors to map utilities for them. This can be expensive and coordinating with them takes time. Another one, mapping high accuracy with GPS can be expensive. Softwares and techniques can be complex. And then lastly, managing utility asset data can be a hassle when using paper forms, or if you need to share your data with other people. So at the end of the day, what can happen? Lost time and money, bad data, frustrated teams, and in some cases, broken pipes. Our job at Juniper is to offer a solution to help make your life easier and avoid the headaches you may encounter in your day-to-day job, with the goal to save you time and money. An interesting fact, actually, is the picture below that you're looking at is a pipe that got broken right outside of our new manufacturing building last year. We wish the contractors had access to better information then. So we can say without a doubt, we have and do feel your pain. So now we're going to talk about the high accuracy GPS solution that we offer here at Juniper Systems. I'm going to touch base on the hardware solution, and then Isabel is going to talk about our software and provide us with a demonstration. In this solution, there are three main components, which include our Geode high accuracy GPS receiver, the Mesa Windows 10 rugged tablet. Again, I'm going to cover those right now, and then Isabel is going to follow up on the software. Let's go ahead and start talking about the Geode. This thing has been extremely popular and is one of my favorite Juniper Systems devices. Here's a list of the benefits, where the list just goes on and on. It's highly accurate, it's the lowest cost sub-meter GPS on the market, it's built rugged, and it just works. Long battery life, works with whatever device you have, Windows, Android, or iOS, doesn't matter. It's going to work with all of them. So first off, you have to figure out how you want to carry your Geode. There are different ways to do this. Our goal is to allow you to carry the Geode hands-free, so here are a few common examples. The most common for utilities is the top left picture, where you use a survey pole and the tablet mount. But again, there's tons of different options on how you can carry it. I wanted to show the accuracy of the Geode and demonstrate that you don't need special techniques to get high accuracy. It's simple and easy to use. So here's a basic test that we did to show the high accuracy of the Geode. What you see is we have a guy who took a bunch of GPS points using the Geode, and we compared those precise positions surveyed in our parking lot. You can see on the right are the Geode points and where they landed relative to the survey points. The yellow circle represents a 1 meter circle diameter. All the Geode points there clustered very nicely near the survey center. And I wanted to dig in a little more. Here's a bit more data of that same test. Note that this is not a 1 meter circle, but a 1 foot circle. You can see that the majority of the points are landing inside of that circle with a few outliers. This is typical accuracy of the Geode, less than 1 foot. A fun fact actually is that little box there in the middle of the circle that you're looking at is the size of the Geode itself. It's a very nice and high accurate device. What we say to customers is the Geode is about 1 foot accurate, which is less than the size of an excavating bucket if you had to dig something up. So now that you have these data points, you're going to need a platform to record them on, which brings me to our next slide. So let's dive in and talk about our Mesa 3 rugged tablet. This is an excellent tablet that pairs with the Geode and runs our new Uinta software that Isabel is going to talk about shortly. It runs on Windows 10 or Android, has all the capabilities of your laptop and then some, with plenty of RAM and storage along the way. The Mesa 3 is field ready with an all-day battery life, large visibility, 7-inch screen with Ultra HD resolution. This thing is ready to go to work. Connectivity-wise, the Mesa 3 has Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and cell capabilities, with numerous ports to help you track, record, and transfer your data, acting as your own personal laptop in the field. And lastly, rock solid, what Juniper stands for. This device is waterproof, dustproof, and shockproof. It'll perform in extreme heat or extreme cold. So no matter what environment you find yourself in, the tablet is going to work for you. So on this slide, there are a few points that I want to hit on here to bring this full circle. Again, the Mesa 3 comes in Windows or Android. The Geode pairs with any Windows, Android, or iOS device. And if you have a favorite software already, you can run it on the Mesa and pair it with our Geode for sub-meter accuracy, giving you an all-in-one system. I also wanted to note a lot of our partners already have software solutions to offer that run great on our hardware. We're also happy to put you in contact with them. So whether you currently have a favorite software for utilities data collection, are interested in one of our partner softwares, or our new Uinta software, we can help you out. Our hardware works on all of them. So this concludes the hardware introduction. I'm going to pass it over to Isabel She's going to introduce you to our Uinta software and show you how it all works together. We appreciate everyone's time thus far in the webinar.
So, as Chandler has mentioned, our company has years of experience in utilities mapping and data collection. Through these years, we have become quite familiar with many great software options that meet many of our customers' needs and are often used with the software options that we offer. However, we have also recognized that some of our users really just wanted a simple and affordable software option for their specific needs. So, this is why we decided to create our own software called Uinta, which is named after a mountain range near Juniper Systems headquarters in Utah. While Uinta has a ton of exciting features, I wanted to just start off by reviewing a few of its key benefits. First of all, this software is totally customizable. So you can create custom data entry forms and mapping features based around your specific project needs and workflow. The customization process is super easy, so you don't need any computer programming or GIS expertise to do it yourself. But we also provide the support and tools needed to help get you started. Uinta is also very intuitive and user-friendly with a simple interface, which allows users to be trained and ready to efficiently collect data in just a few minutes. While the input process is very simple and easy, the mapping and data output is high-quality professional grade, as you will see in our demonstration. Getting data back out of this software is also a breeze. You can seamlessly share data with other users through cloud syncing across multiple devices, easily build reports for customers, and quickly export data in a variety of file formats. Finally, all of these features are backed by Juniper's commitment to providing excellent customer service at no additional expense. We have data collection experts on call who can help users with everything from form customization to training users out in the field. So now I want to go ahead and demonstrate some of those key features that we just discussed. I've pre-recorded a few screen clips from the actual Uinta software to share how it could be used on an actual utilities data collection project. To begin, I wanted to show how quick and easy it is to start collecting any type of data. Users will first start in the project screen seen here, where they can easily access and organize existing projects or start a new one. When creating a new project, users have three default options. You can create a device-only project to quickly start collecting data on any Windows 10 device. Or you can import a project file, such as one shared from a colleague or based on one of our pre-developed utilities project templates. Alternatively, you can also log into a cloud project, which allows multiple users to enter and access project data from multiple devices, either in the office or in the field, by syncing to the Microsoft Azure cloud in real time. For today's example, we're just going to start with a device-only project. So first, we give the project a unique name, which could be something simple that describes the job at hand. We can then choose a template to base it off of, from a previously customized template or our basic template. Next, you have the option to define the project's icon or colors based on user preference. Now that we've created the project, we're ready to start collecting data. From the basic template, we launch right into our map screen. When collecting spatial data, we connect to a GPS. In this video, I'm working on my office computer, so I just use my Wi-Fi Windows services. You see in the upper left-hand corner, we have a horizontal error displayed. As you can see, my Wi-Fi provides pretty poor accuracy, but we'll show much better accuracy later on by connecting to one of these geodes that we spoke about earlier. Now, I can quickly zoom right into my current location to start collecting data. When I click the big orange plus button, I'm given my default data options from the basic sample template, including area, line, point, and record. You can create, rename, or edit any of these object types, which we'll demonstrate a bit later. However, with these default options, you can go ahead and start mapping or collecting any type of generic data, including a polygon area, such as a property boundary, any type of line, a point with a specific location, or any other record that might not have associated location information, but is still part of your project dataset. But let's go ahead and just map a generic data point at my current location. From here, you can start entering information about the point, such as name, notes, or photos. Location, date, and time of entry will automatically be populated on the form. Now, here is my point and all the data we just entered. We can also look at a list view and check out all of our project data as well. Now, as you can see in the Uinta software, it is really quick and easy to get started with mapping and collecting data. Next, I want to show how easy it is to configure the software for more specific data collection tasks. For this demonstration, let's say we have a project that requires mapping and collecting data on some water assets. So, we're going to quickly go through how to configure the forms in our project template to collect data specific to those water assets. Going back to the project we just started, we can see our first recorded point and those default data types. When customizing, we can edit or delete any default option or create a new one altogether. So we're going to go ahead and start by creating a new type. Specifically, let's create a new type for a water line. So we'll name it, and now we can base the record template on the earlier defined default line, but give it our own name, color, and icon. Now we'll open right into the new water line record, which starts with the same default fields. But we can also edit these form fields. When editing the form fields, we can change existing fields or add a new field for additional data. For instance, if I want to record the diameter of a water line, I can add a new field with a pick list type field, which I can add predefined values. So we'll name this field diameter. You can add a description as well, and start entering different options. So here we're going to just add a few common water line diameter options. Now going back to that water line record, we now have the new diameter data entry field. Now as you scroll down, you'll see we can also enter different options. Essentially, you're now using specific fields to prompt your data collectors to add the exact information you need to know. Now I'm not saving this record, but going back, you can see the water line as a new option for collecting data, which we'll put to use in the field later on. But now let's add some other water asset record types, such as points related to the water line. For instance, a water meter. The meter will be based on a point because it's just one exact spatial point location. Again, we can customize different icons and colors here as well. Once again, we start with our default point options. We can go in and start editing these fields as well. Perhaps for a water meter, we want to add a field for water meter ID because this might make more sense than a name. So we can add a numeric keypad field that will allow the user to quickly type in the ID number of the meter. Numeric fields can also have limited ranges for numbers where applicable. For an ID number, we can just enter a very large range so you can enter anything you need. Next, we can reorder the form fields by putting meter ID at the top and perhaps deleting out the default name field because this might not be necessary. Now, we're going to add another field because perhaps we're interested in monitoring the condition of our water meters. So we'll add another pick list with different options for the status of the meter based on our inspection. After saving, we can then go back and see our new fields in the form, enter data such as the ID and status, and save the record. Next, I will quickly add one more point type, this time for a water valve. For the water valve, we're going to repeat a similar process as we did for the water meter. So it'll be another point type, change the color, and perhaps the icon as well. When editing fields in this case, we're just going to edit the existing name field and change it to valve ID, just to show how you can edit existing fields rather than just adding and deleting new fields as well. We will also add status options for the water valve. Now we can go back in and enter information for this new valve as well. Although we might not necessarily need to save this record because in theory we're still in the office for this example. Now you can see all the new record types that we've created. From here, I might choose to further organize my data collection options by grouping, deleting, or adding other options before collecting data in the field. It really just depends on user preference and workflow. But for the sake of time, I won't go through that process in today's demo. So now, perhaps the most exciting part of our demo will be taking that custom project template we just created, going out into the field, and collecting some data. For this video, we imported our water asset mapping project into the Uinta software running on a Mesa 3 tablet. We will also be using a Geode GPS receiver for our location services, so we are now collecting high accuracy GPS data about our utilities in the field. As you can see from our horizontal error value, we now have sub-foot GPS accuracy. Looks to be about 8 inches right now. For this project, I knew that I would be collecting data on my Mesa outside without internet access. With Uinta, you don't need to be online to access or collect any of your data. However, to better orient yourself in the field, you may still want background map imagery even while offline. This can easily be done by downloading offline maps to your device before going into the field, which we've done here. So in this case, we downloaded an offline map for our project site and are now turning that layer on to display the background map imagery while in the field. You can now see my current location as the blue dot on the map as we zoom in a bit further and I start to walk around. Now I have approached my first asset and I'm ready to start collecting data. You may notice that I went ahead and deleted out some of the other default data options from the original template just to keep things simple for the demo. But we've approached our first asset, which is a water meter. So I selected water meter to record the asset location and start entering additional information about the water meter. I then save the record and can now see my first point on the map. Now, as I walk away from the meter, let's say I want to start mapping a water line. With both line and area data types, there are two options for GPS data capture, manual and automatic. With automatic, you can capture points from your GPS at a preset interval, either by time or distance, as you see here. The points are then connected to create a line. However, this line can end up a bit squiggly depending on how you walk or from GPS error. So for mapping something like utility lines, we recommend the manual method, which creates more straight lines. For this method, all you need to do is position yourself at the start of the line and click Start. You then walk along the line and add points by using the Add button seen in the blue bar below. Now, while mapping my line, I may also come upon other assets that I want to map associated to the line, such as that water valve that we added a template for earlier. So I come upon my water valve, select the asset type, and enter the related data. Here, we can also demonstrate how easy it is to add a photo to your record from within the software by launching the tablet's integrated camera. So we now have a photo of this valve right here in the record associated with its location as well. Now we save the record and continue mapping our water line. Now perhaps we've come upon one more water valve, so we're going to enter any other information, including the status based on our inspection. And we continue mapping our line. When we reach the end of our water line, all we have to do is add our final point and click Finish. We can then enter any other data about the line itself and save the record. Now you can see the line and all the assets we mapped along the way. While mapping our water valves, we were also inspecting their condition noted by status. Perhaps after mapping the line, we're interested in checking out which valves need a repair. So it's really easy to filter our records and identify which valves we flagged for needing repair. In this case, it was just water valve number 1. If I then click on that specific point, I will see the record details for that valve pop up. You can also see that I have the option to navigate to that point. This option then launches a navigation screen that can direct the user on foot or by driving to the point of interest using their GPS location. If they start going the wrong direction, they'll get a red screen, and once they actually reach their point, it will notify the user as well. This is just one of the many features that Uinta has to make data collection in the field more efficient and user-friendly. So now that we've gone into the field and collected our data, the final step in a typical project would be to do something useful with this data. So for instance, let's say we're back in the office and checking out that water line and the assets we mapped in the field, but now we want to export this data. With Uinta, it is really easy to export data in a variety of file types. We can also customize reports and save commonly used report templates for quick access, which would be saved here. For the sake of time, we won't go into those options today, but we'll just quickly cover exporting the data we just collected in a few common file types, including PDF, Excel, and KML. Let's start with Excel. This quickly generates a spreadsheet with each record type separated into sheets and each data entry field into separate columns. This spreadsheet can then be used for further data analysis or importing to other programs. Next, let's use the same data and export to a KML file. This file type works great with Google Earth, as seen here, but it can also be converted to other shape file types for use with any GIS software with spatial data. Finally, Uinta has a built-in PDF report generator. Here, you can specify a report title and add any additional notes. You can then add your organization's logo or other images directly to the report. Next, you can specify additional attributes you want included, such as who conducted this inspection. Before generating the report, we also can explore some advanced options, such as changing paper size, orientation, resolution, and zoom level. Now, you've easily generated a high-quality custom report for data sharing. Mapping imagery is automatically displayed with a legend based on the project's customized colors and icons. The report title, any notes, logos, or additional attributes are neatly organized at the bottom of the page. Data tables are also generated from each data type in the subsequent pages. These PDF reports are great to quickly summarize a project or share map data with others. For private contractors, these reports can also be ideal for sending customers along with their invoice. This concludes our quick Uinta software demo. However, there are plenty of other great features and functionalities of this software that we did not have time to share today, although they may be useful for the specific needs of different users. So please feel free to get in touch with us about your specific data collection needs. We love learning about different projects and helping customers find the right hardware and software solutions. We'd also be happy to schedule personalized software demos based on your specific data collection and mapping goals. Additionally, here's both mine and Chandler's contact information if you'd like to get in touch at a later date. We can discuss your data collection needs, schedule a personalized software demo, or feel free to just provide any other feedback. To conclude, I would like to personally thank everyone for taking the time today to learn more about our company and products. We look forward to working with you soon and hope you have a great day.